I reach to a level that either I do it at the top of my game or I rather don't do it, because I think that it's going to be even more dangerous and not worth it. No? It bonded my family a lot, especially my brother, my dad, and me. We share great memories.
Motorcycling gave us, Felipe and myself and my other son, Nicolas, who also raced, a space to develop a new relationship beyond the parenthood and the relation father to son.
I'm very, very proud of him. I'm proud of him because he's doing what he loves and he's great at it.
Definitely the beginning was when I was, as I told you before, probably 8 years old in BMX. My dad gave me my first bicycle when I was really young, and I would always want to be in the bicycle.
I built this BMX track for the kids, and so the natural thing was to take my kids along. I did that, and Felipe just loved it and became very good at that.
And yeah, when I started BMX, I think that's the start of everything. And I would always have my family supporting me there.
We had a beach house in the Pacific in Chile, and we bought these quadra tracks, these four-wheel drive motorcycles. And so we would use them in the sand dunes, and for us, it would take the kids on the back. What we didn't know is that while we were doing a siesta, the kids would take the ATVs out and go jumping on the dunes and doing crazy things. In secret, he would take these ATVs out and go and compete. Nobody knew he was competing on the weekends. And he became very good. And when I went back to Bolivia 2 or 3 years later, it was too late to stop him. He was already the best in town, and then he won the national championship, and I supported him.
When I came here to the U.S., I came to study, and at that time I didn't really. I left the racing for at least 8 years.
But when he started working and his brother got a job as well, they bought this Italian motorcycle. They were beautiful.
These MV Agustas were like the thing to have. They were beautiful, beautiful bikes, beautiful engineered. The design was amazing, but we didn't know how to ride them.
So a friend of mine, an Italian friend of mine at the World Bank, he told me, why don't you take your kids to race? I said, you're not understanding it. It's so dangerous. I don't want them to race. Racing is much safer than riding on the streets.
It would make me more nervous when he was on the road. When he first started, him and his brother bought a bike, and they would go at 5 in the morning or at 4, 3 in the morning, really early when there was no cars, or really late at night. And I didn't sleep. I hated it. I thought it was the worst thing in the world.
One day we didn't know what to do. It was a Saturday. We grabbed the bikes and we go to try to do some go-karting. As you can see, always my brother also. Anything with racing we would like to do. We went to do go-karting, and as soon as we get to the go-kart place, we hear this noise in Homestead of bikes, and they tell us no, that there's some bikes there, and you can go and put your bike and ride your bike on the track. We couldn't believe it. So we went there, and as soon as we went there, I mean, that was paradise. No? It was love at first sight. Like 2 weeks probably or 3 weeks later, we signed up for our first track day. Bought all the suit without knowing anything, and we got all the equipment to go to the track day. We go to the track day, and we arrived there, and of course we didn't have a trailer or anything, so we went riding the bikes the first time. We would go in the bikes, and maybe a friend of mine would come back with the stuff on the car behind us, and that's how it all started.
Very few people understand what's racing for me. You only understand it if you're there and you're passionate about it.
in this case, it gives me joy because I know that it's something that he loves to do, and I know it's his passion, and I see how happy he is when he's out there, and that makes me really happy.
And I need to improve every race, and I'm very tough on myself. Today, for example, it was a very hard day. And from the start, I didn't feel good with the bike. Then you start thinking, whether it's the bike or it's you. Then you end up crashing, and then you end up having problems with the bike and couldn't practice. And you see the other guys practicing, so you really get frustrated. But it's part of the sport, and it's the main reason that I really want to go tomorrow. You know.
Yes, there's fear, of course. Of course there's fear. But I know that he's very conscious, and I know he makes smart decisions. There's been times when he could have, gotten to first place, but he, made the right decision to move back.
I always secretly hope that Felipe would stop racing because it's a very dangerous sport. You cannot sort of try your luck for so long.
Because if it happens, it has to come from him. You can't take someone's dream away. I mean, I couldn't imagine if I was doing something he didn't want, I always tell him before he goes out, be careful, you have kids now, please be careful. This, it's not your profession at the end of the day, it's something that you love to do, so just please be safe and, take cautious. But I would never tell him not to do it.
I know that I'm gonna stop racing professionally or in CCS as well, but of course the racing is gonna keep in me, and probably I'm gonna do some track days, and the idea that I have is try to cool down a little bit and see how can I replace this, because I really need, and I think that my wife and family knows that I need something like this to replace. No? It's a thing that I need in my life and that I love.
The most importantly is, I think, the relationship that he's brought in with his dad because of the bikes. We started all going, and we would all be there with him, and it kind of brought us all together, and now we stopped going a little bit because his dad started coming, and I think that that's really nice that he's created his bond with his dad, and his dad has spent time with him, and it's nice.
So now we have to figure out what to do together. Some other sport, nothing like motorcycling for the adrenaline and the emotion. It's a beautiful sport. We really had a lot of good time. We enjoyed that. So we hope we can develop some common interest that will keep me flying down from Washington, where I live, to be with them. Let's see. It's going to be tough because motorcycling is so unique.
He's always had it in his blood since really little, so I can say that he always had that adrenaline for anything that had to do with speed, so I always saw him doing something that he was passionate, either it was biking or motorcycles or four-wheelers, so I grew up seeing him like that, so it really is fascinating to see him come this far in MotoGP, so I'm very proud of him. Let's see what happens in his next chapter. We don't know yet. He hasn't told us, but I think whatever he decides to do in his next chapter, he's going to do a fantastic job because he's a very dedicated guy.
I've been seeing my son since he was so small, running bikes, dirt bikes, then motorcycles, quad tracks, so it's been a whole journey. Seeing him running at this speed hasn't been easy at all for the family, especially for me and my ex-husband and Felipe's father as parents. And now seeing the two babies that he has, I think it's time to hang the helmet out. But he did a wonderful career, and we love him.
So firsthand, I know how good he is at this. I can definitely be the one to really assure everybody that he's really good at this, but most importantly, it's not his skills, but it's his passion for the sport. And this sport has been a really nice platform for our family also to get together, get closer. So this is the end of a very nice chapter. And Felipe, I congratulate you, and and this is something that I think takes a lot of credit, I guess, and it's been a beautiful journey.
You can definitely feel his passion. He breathes motorcycle racing. He knows everything about it. It's great to see him finally fulfill his dream of racing at a competitive level. And I mean, race after race, you see how he gets better and better, and determination grows. It's great. It's great to see him be happy at what he likes to do.
I think Felipe, you accomplish a lot in this sport, and I think this is the last race. So very proud of what you accomplished so far, and it's good to let the young kids race too. So it's a time to retire and have your own team MacLean.
It's really been a pleasure to work with him. It's really great to come down here and support him and see firsthand exactly what he's putting his body through, and it just gives me that much more respect for him for what he does. And then also when we get into working and helping his muscles recover, I can't help but laugh at him because I see what he's doing and he's so excited to get back out there and do it all over again.
He's at the top of his game now, and he's proved it up at Daytona. Lost it by a couple thousandths of a second. So if he is going to retire, we're certainly going to miss him, but hopefully he may change his mind and come back next year and start winning. So hopefully that's what he'll do, but if not, he's a great competitor, and we'll miss him.